Freedom is the right to tell what they do not want to hear. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Tired of the same repetitive government narratives? Then wave goodbye to the distractions and rhetoric of corporate media. For this is Anti-Media Radio.
But I want to get the language right. The big government is in trouble.
You're all a bunch of slaves! Bunch of slaves!
What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness, but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another.
What's your definition of media?
And now, here's your host, S.M. Gibson.
Give generously, do not submit to the fear. My name is S.M. Gibson. It is June the 7th, 2016, and this is Anti-Media Radio. You can listen to us every Tuesday and Thursday live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and always catch our replays on YouTube. It's kind of a Super Tuesday 5.0 or something. I guess the election, that's all anybody's talking about right now. Trump gave his speech earlier. He's supposedly planning something for Hillary next week. What a joke Hillary is. Just what an absolute disgusting, wretched woman. I don't know how many times I have seen on social media just the past few days people saying, I just can't believe. Like, I thought here, you know, the prospect of having the first woman president, like this would be a great, joyous thing, making history. Nobody feels that way. Everybody's got their head down like, oh, this woman. Really? We have to do this again, another Clinton? So, you know, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our sound director, Mr. Shannon Madden. Shannon, what's up?
Good evening, Mr. Gibson. How are you?
I can't complain.
First off, before we get cranked into it, we've had a very horrible passing happen since the last time we've done the show. Muhammad Ali, formerly known as Cassius Clay, the arguably probably the greatest boxer of all time.
Oh, I would almost be willing to say the greatest at any sport.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to narrow it down, I mean, you know, you have your gosh, there's so many different people come to mind when you think about the greatest of each and every sport. But as far as that one person that they completely defined what their sport became and how their sport was packaged and processed, and not only that, but I mean, how to keep it real as when you have that kind of spotlight on you. Very, very politically active, a deeply religious man, had a lot to say and was going to say it to anybody, whether you liked it or not. Truly just a remarkable human being. And it's very, very sad that he's passed. He's dealt with Parkinson's for quite some time now. And, you know, I'm certainly, it's no huge surprise to anyone, but it's still just, it makes it no less just tragic to see him gone. And condolences to the family. And when, you know, you think about that man who's used his celebrity to interject, you know, a little bit of truth into the thing, to actually stand up against the establishment. We see that now with another fellow.
Oh, don't.
Who's kind of the establishment.
Right.
Who's every bit the establishment.
He's pretending not to be, though.
when you hold somebody in high regards, and you hold them to, I don't know, just that incredible of a human being, and you think about some of the things that Muhammad Ali said over the years, and juxtapose that with what we've got running for president right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even know how you even put those two people's name in the same breath.
And for him to come out on his national platform, he just had his little press conference congratulating himself and slapping himself on the back for winning the handful of states so far.
Big Daddy Trump.
So far, it looks like there will be no surprises or this, that, and the other. But the speech that he had when he came out, which was mixed with a little bit of just raw, honest-to-God truth that we talk about on this show often.
Well, that's there's candy in the van speech.
And juxtaposed with the also, it's sprinkled in with the Let's Make America Great. And we had to cut it off because we had to get kind of prepped for the show and ready for the show. But I'm pretty sure I could just about recite.
Yeah, the end.
Not having seen the end of it, the end of that.
I assume things are going to get fixed, and he was great.
But when he came out for a moment there, it's just like we've seen brief flashes of it before when he's brought up the redacted 28 pages, the 9/11 report, which we don't know what's behind those pages, but there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of guess, and Saudi Arabia's name's all over it. It's. Man, these are strange times we're living in.
They certainly are,
and that's on one side of the fence. Of course, now the news cycle has been heavily focused on apparently racist remarks. I guess I have to leave that open for interpretation. What I heard sounded racist, but whatever. I'm no political expert, I guess, because it's definitely being spun in some very creative ways on the mainstream media right now. I don't know. What did you call that?
Oh, I mean,
come on, man. It's racist.
Of course it is. It is. I mean, but it's so even beyond that for me. It's like, what kind of idiotic, stupid thing? Like, it makes no sense. The guy's from Indiana.
Yeah. Born and raised.
Mexican heritage. He has Mexican heritage. That's what he kept saying over and over. Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall. I'm building a wall.
Again, we tell me what American heritage is.
I don't know, but slaves, I guess. That happened for a while. Good time. There were some good times, too.
No, Native Americans. Native Americans are the only indigenous people of this region.
There's a lot. We've done a lot.
I mean, there's still a few of them left, so I guess they get to claim the ultimate right of being a real, 100% real American.
Okay.
Your people came over on a boat, just like my people came over on a boat, just like some people's people were forced over on a boat.
Yeah, some of those boat rides are a little bit more scandalous.
Some of them were bumpier than others. But no, none of us can. I mean, that's what really just confounds me about the whole immigrant question. And we talk about, well, this nation does this and this nation does that. America is supposed to hold itself to a higher standard, and one of the higher standards and the great things about America was the fact that if you were willing to work and come over here and work for the American dream, regardless of what you did with your money afterwards, because when you earn your money, that's your money. If you want to send half of it back home to Mexico, then that's your business.
Sure.
If you want to send half of it over to Ireland to some of your ancestors back there, your ancestors from England, where are your people from anyway?
That beats me.
English?
I don't know. I have no idea. Never cared.
Mine are
not really.
Well, I mean, I've had a general, just a passing curiosity in it, but ultimately I have I have some Native American in me. There's, quite a few Americans, quote unquote, that can claim that, I guess you could say. But I also have Irish. I also have German. I
think I'm part. I don't know. I really don't know.
There's got to be some other stuff in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I was born and raised here. You were born and raised here. It's home now.
Right. I mean, what do I care?
But as far as me laying any kind of claim or pride to America because I've I've kept all the other people out. And look, you can go ahead and recite ISIS and Al Qaeda and all of the other Fox News rhetoric about we need to keep those people out. But, we need to keep these other people out too because those other people are trying to get in. When did we go from this land of, the immigrants coming in droves of boats to Ellis Island to this, to building a wall?
Fear.
And fear of what?
That's the good question.
The Mexicans are going to come take my job. They're going to come take my my job working down at the Jiffy Lube or whatever.
Well, it's obviously politically motivated.
So what if they do take your job? Maybe you should have worked harder and kept your own job. I ain't got no problem with anybody taking my job. You know why?
Explain. I'm listening.
2 words: work ethic. I mean, that's part of it. There's everybody wants to, and that's why we're in this mess that we're in now. Let's go ahead and get it straight. But everybody wants to point fingers and get their little feelings hurt. And, well, my life would be so much better if this thing weren't going on, or my life would be better if this thing weren't going on. I mean, and look around and see exactly how bad your life is. And then all you need to do is get on the internet and pull up what people in Somalia are going through right now, what people in Libya went through.
Oh, it could be.
What people in Iraq are fixing to go through again.
They're going through it right now. They hadn't stopped going through it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
and all of that has American money tied to it.
The destruction that's been brought all over the world is just, it's really, really, really scary. And nobody cares.
And don't think for a second that
they really don't. They don't. We sit here, we live in a culture where, and I hate it. Look, we had this conversation. I'm not going to go back down this road, but we live in a culture where a gorilla gets killed or a lion gets killed and everybody's up in arms about it. And they're like, well, you can care about 2 things. That's fine. Care about 2 things. I don't care, but I do not see the public outrage when there's, 15 civilians killed by, bombed the wrong place.
Yeah, well, that as far as going back to the gorilla thing for half a second, now that I've given some time to think about it a little bit, it's not so much the fact that they shot a wonderful, beautiful gorilla or this, that, and the other. What I saw is they kind of unintentionally liberated a prisoner. The gorilla shouldn't have been there to begin with, is what I'm saying.
Well,
and again, that's another
a whole nother thing.
Another topic for another show.
Yeah. That's not.
But so much was made over that. So much was made over that, and people were all divided and
that's everything.
Split off into all these factions.
That's everything. What isn't? What in this country is not used to divide people? What is not so?
Race even kind of came into it there for a while when it comes to find out
everything. Every polarizing. Let's keep everybody at each other's throats. Because if you keep everybody divided amongst themselves, they're not going to pay attention to the people that are screwing both sides at the top.
Yep. Bottom line.
That's it. That's the bottom line. Both sides of whatever you're, the conservative American or, the liberal American.
And
whatever.
You can't
you're
be
both
both.
getting screwed.
You can't be both. You have to be one or the other.
Yeah. It's the polarizing. Yeah. It's world we live in. It's automatic. Like in elections, you tell somebody, I don't like Barack Obama. Well, then you love John McCain or Mitt Romney or whoever. Like you automatically you like those people. Mm-hmm. This election's a little different because everybody kind of hates everybody.
No, not really. Not in some of the political discussion I've had. I think I brought this up on the waves before, but you get to talking to somebody about Bernie's policy, then you must be for Trump. Then okay, well then go watch you some Fox News. No, I'm not for Trump either. I actually.
Then you're for Hillary.
Yeah. Oh, then you're for Hillary. Then oh my God, you're evil. This that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I would be.
It is just a little more circular right now because of the extra person.
And then and it gets to that point when I finally bring up the fact that I think that all candidates are absolute crap. They're all bought and controlled by corporate interests. It's been very well documented, and you have to be a complete fool not to at least acknowledge it at this point. And every single conversation, whether it be with a Trump supporter, whether it be a Bernie supporter or a Hillary supporter, gets shut down immediately. Oh my God, so you're not voting for anybody? Damn. What do I say to that? Because then I also present just with a couple mere sentences. Nothing eloquent, nothing fancy, no big words or this, that, and the other. Because all you have to do is simply just cut on your computer. Go on to Facebook, and man, there's stuff popping up everywhere. Half of it's true, half of it's not true. Half of it's so completely untrue it's not even funny. Some of them are actually intentionally done to, kind of rustle some jimmies. But that's the new phrase now. The kids are.
Is it?
They brought it back, I guess. Yeah, that was like a phrase a long time ago, and I think they brought it back. Rustling jimmies. It's all about rustling jimmies now.
Okay.
A lot of rustling jimmy memes now. But yeah, there's I don't know, man. It's really strange. It really is, and it is all it's done to serve. Is divide us even further.
That's everything. Everything's meant to divide us. I mean.
And it's getting worse, though. I mean, it's not just a simple matter.
Of course, it's getting worse.
Of black and white. I mean, it's
not.
I mean, really, it's about
not a black and white. That's involved in it, of course. But that's part of the divide they use. But that's not.
Well,
two different.
I was using the euphemism and not the actual.
Sure,
but that's been part of it too, because again, going back to the silly little thing about the gorillas, which wasn't a silly thing. It was, I guess, it was tragic for the people involved, but. But it shouldn't have been more of a thing than it was.
And it's being, just hearing you talk about it, it's like, why?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Rustling jimmies.
Because I want to reiterate Iraq. It's not good. It's not a good situation. And, we talk about guerrillas or whatever, and the election I think is important because especially you have somebody like Donald Trump that says we're not going to be doing this, even though I personally do not believe him. I think it's like Obama, they all say that. I think he's going to do what he wants, and but there's been over in the area there's been a bunch of people killed just recently. I know that there's been like Syrian airstrikes. There were like 26 civilians killed. 15 civilians killed by us the other week. And we were talking, this is an everyday thing, that there's civilians getting killed.
Yeah, civilians.
Yeah.
People like you and I, not having anything to do with any of this bull crap. Just walking down the street and bam, gone.
And that's what these policies do. Nobody seems to realize that. Like they live in this culture of fear, and you talk about the difference between we used to let Americans in versus now. Americans have completely shut themselves off as this superiority thing. Nobody can come in our country. And if you're outside of it, we can bomb you. We don't care. We have no concept of human life outside the United States. We can't even fathom what that must be like, but that's probably horrible because it's so great here. Mm-hmm. That's how people were indoctrinated in this country. That they believe we are far superior. Like it's no question. And I think it resonates because of United States has had a strong economy and it has been the world power, unquestionably. I think it's resonated in the respect for human life. And I think people that are overseas that are getting killed, civilians, like anybody sitting there, like you sitting there listening to this, and bomb drops for no reason. Mm-hmm. That's scary. That's terrifying. And our tax dollars are funding that.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here,
What
do you do to change that?
And that's the funny thing about it is that, it always comes back to that. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I mean, what amount of protesting? What amount of voting? What amount of, just completely just saying, oh, to hell with it, I'm just going to stay at the house and never leave the house again and just,
No, you can't do that either. You have to live your life.
Build a wall around the border. Let's just go ahead and build a wall around my house. And I'm just going to shut everybody else out. I mean, what's really going to change this situation?
I don't think people need to stop putting their hopes in politicians. I think people expect Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders to a lesser degree. They expect these people to come in and change everything, and everything's going to be fixed. People need to stop leaving everything up to somebody else. If you feel like there's something that needs to be changed, do what you can to change it. Everything starts with one person.
So our government's screwed up. What do we do? You're one person. Go ahead. What are you going to start doing? Exactly.
Well, I know what you're saying.
Because it's gotten past the point of niceties or writing a letter.
I understand what you're saying.
Or protest or going down to City Hall and making your stand.
I understand.
No, it's gone way past that.
But, as cheesy as it sounds, because of, other websites, but we kind of are in an information war. And it's, which truth do you believe? Do you believe the government's truth or do you believe the real truth? With anything, everything they say is a lie. Like, how many times have we said on this show, we live in a country that is called free. We live in a free society, a free country. If you do not pay money to the government in the form of taxes, if you do not pay them, they will come take you to jail. Like, you have to pay the government not to go to jail.
You have to pay the government to have a place to live that you bought, that you own, that you've already given all the money to the bank.
Because you're going to pay property taxes.
You gave your money to the previous owner of the property. You own that property now. And then it starts. That first letter comes in the mail.
Tax. What about the situation? I've got a friend. He used to do. He was pretty heavy in the stock thing, and
Bitcoin's where it's at.
He made.
Have you watched Bitcoin price lately?
Yes,
Good
it's
Lord
going way
Almighty.
up. It's going way up right now. But he made whatever he made on a trade, and he had to pay whatever percentage he had to pay to the government. And then it got me to thinking, it's like, well, you go and you make a trade, and you end up losing $25,000 or something, just say. They're not paying part of that for you. But when you make some money, they'll take that. They'll take that chunk. Yeah. But they're not going to help you pay,
Oh, no.
Right.
You shouldn't have made such a risky investment.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, yeah. That was stupid. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, but you did a good thing. Give us our part.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's like the mafia.
Absolutely.
You got to give us our share now.
Yeah. You want it the card game? Okay, well, you got to pay.
We will come in.
Got to pay a little of the house.
Yeah.
Come on now.
We will come
That's
in.
a nice pot,
we will
man.
Bust
you can
up
tip that dude over there too.
We will bust up your flower shop if you do not pay us our money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the government.
Put you and your family out on the street if you don't pay your property tax.
It's true.
We'll let your fire burn your house to the ground if you don't pay that the fire dues.
And these taxes are going. I want to shout out here real quick to antiwar.com. Check them out. They always are running great stories about dealings with the Middle East, our foreign policy, United States foreign policy, and a little bit more in-depth view of what is happening in Syria and Iraq and the whole region, really around the world. But, the Middle East is where it happens, isn't it?
Yes.
So, anyway. So, we got this stupid election, and we got Hillary Clinton doing whatever she wants. We live in a country, right? Donald Trump, who is the front runner to be the president of the United States. This is important. The front runner to be president. Tonight said in his speech, in his whatever victory speech for I'm not running against anybody right now, said that the system is rigged. We're talking about it on that level.
Ask Bernie.
Exactly. Like, it's being openly discussed. It's not, is the system rigged or not? It's to the point that it's openly discussed with presidential candidates that are so. Yeah. And yet, our politicians have the audacity to tell us that we need to go give freedom to other countries when we can't even run our own elections right. Mm-hmm. We can't even have our elections run properly without it being rigged.
Come on, man,
but we want to go do that. in other countries?
That's what I'm going to tell you. You know,
What's that?
The elections are running exactly as planned for the people who planned them.
Okay, no, I don't believe that at all.
Okay, why?
Not this time.
Why?
I think Rubio was. I still believe Rubio was the guy they wanted.
Yeah, there was a lot of corporate money headed that way.
Yeah, so I don't think this has gone according to plan. Now, they're calling audibles for sure.
Well, on the Republican side of the fence, now the Democratic side of the fence, though, everything went exactly as planned.
Well, it didn't go as planned, but the end result would be the same.
Yeah,
that's
how Hillary plays Monopoly, man.
It
Come
definitely
on now.
didn't go as planned because they never expected
It's
for
easy
him
to win Monopoly when you're
compete.
the banker and you slide an extra 500 out when nobody's looking.
Right, yeah, nobody expected him to get this far. But I think everybody overlooked how truly hated she is by everyone.
Well, she's not invited to any of my birthday parties, that's for sure.
What do you think about the whole narrative that used to float around that Trump's there to help Hillary win?
We're fixing to find out here in a minute. I'm waiting with bated breath for the first debate between the two of them.
Oh, who isn't? That's pay-per-view.
I don't think she'll do it. It's going to be career suicide if she decides to get up on a stage with Donald J. Trump.
She's not going to win that fight.
Oh, no. He's going to say some of the most nasty, awful, you know when she makes those horrible faces when somebody says something bad? I don't recall that. I don't recall that at all.
She may shriek.
Yeah.
She may shriek.
Oh, yeah. I think she'll, I mean, she's getting kind of old, man. She might have a heart attack.
Oh, I know. I don't think so. I think she's going to finally hopefully what I'm hoping for in all seriousness is like she finally loses her cool in public.
And then like goes to attack him.
Yeah, like
man,
she
awesome.
finally loses and starts cussing at him or something. Like I just want her to snap on stage and just like I can't take it, and her real personality comes out. That's what I want to see. And Trump just driving her insane.
But
that's the thing. I can't. If he was not running for president, this would all be hilarious to me. It's still funny, but then I realize at the end of all this hilarity and watching these politicians be embarrassed, at the end of it, we get Donald Trump, and that doesn't sound like something that I want in my life to happen. But you can't live your life either. Based on the.
For as much crap as Trump talks, do you think he's ever actually been in a physical fight? Like in a fight?
It's hard to say.
No, there's no way. He led a life of privilege.
Yeah, but some of those rich people
maybe
beat up bums or something.
Maybe a tussle when he was a kid.
You like
but I'm
Mr.
talking
Robot,
about an actual, just like a real, just knockdown, drag out.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
You know Hillary has.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Well, the story of her beating up Bill.
That's on the page right now, by the way.
Yeah, that right now is on the front page of the antimedia.org. For anybody that wants to check it out, former Secret Service agent Hillary literally beat Bill in the White House.
Yeah, gave him a shiner.
Yeah. But
I'm so reading that book when it comes out.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I know it's going to be trashy. I've already read the few excerpts, and it's very overly melodramatic in spots. But, however, I don't really need all that. I need the dirt.
Well, it's what Gary Byrne, former Secret Service agent, wrote the book. It's called Crisis of Character.
Crisis of Character.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So I don't know what she thinks she's going to accomplish, but it is what it is. Watching Rubio, I saw him on something today, and he was just
really? He's still around?
Well, he was talking about how Trump was a racist. See, what they're doing now, if you haven't noticed, is all the politicians are parading around on TV going, Donald Trump is super racist. Did you hear that racist thing he said? So you're still support Trump? Yeah, I'm still supporting him.
It's kind of like an American Idol when they've got 3 contestants left, but they come out and bring some of the old contestants to do a medley.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But why in the world they're out there saying, yeah, he's racist, but I'm still supporting him. Yeah. At least our boy Lindsey Graham over there, the warmonger of warmongers.
That old queen.
Yeah, buddy. He's backed off of a Trump endorsement finally. And he's saying everybody should pull him away. Like, nobody should endorse him. Like, everybody should rescind their endorsement.
So
Retract your endorsement. Retract your endorsement.
So what's his alternative? I mean, he's he's a Republican.
I don't pay
log
attention
cabin
really to what he
Republican,
says because I don't really care. But, I saw that little snippet. It was just to hear his old funny little voice.
Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lindsay. He really is. He is a character
oh, man. He's something else.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway.
Hey, look, he won me over, and I'll leave it at this. He won me over as being so crazy when he was at the debate and they asked him about gay marriage. And his response was, nobody's going to get married if we allow radical Islam to take over this country. So we need to start bombing people. And I was like, dude, you just turned a question on gay marriage into why we should start bombing people.
Yeah.
That is the most horrible, horrendous thing I have ever heard. And you are a supervillain, and now I'm entertained by you because you're harmless and you're a moron. Because nobody in their right mind can take you seriously after saying that.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Nobody. Like, that's coming out of, no pun intended here, if that's coming out of the closet, it's just a complete idiot. And yeah. Who cares what he thinks? Nobody takes him seriously. Nobody takes any of them seriously anymore. The ploy that Trump's using to pit himself is it's us against them. Mm-hmm. That is a tactic right there. Mm-hmm. Used again to divide. Everything is about division, but Trump is doing it where it's all of us against Washington.
Yeah.
It's
folks like you and I mean, look, you talk about the system's corrupt and so on and so forth. We talk about it every single time that we have a broadcast. Well, hey, I'm with you guys. I mean, look
That's
what I was
exactly.
able to do. I was able to go in there and rustle the whole machine and shake the whole thing
and
up.
It's
and
a
now
brilliant,
it's mine. It's my machine.
It's a brilliant strategy, but people need to remember that it's a strategy. Mm-hmm. It's not this guy's coming to save the day. It's a strategy. And he knows he's very precise in what he's doing.
It is a bag full of Snicker bars in the passenger seat of the old pervert's van. You kids, come on in here. I got all these Snicker bars. We'll just take a ride up the street. Come on now. There's no candy.
That's all that is
in that van. That's an empty bag.
Just get in the van.
Yeah, just get in the van. Get 28 pages. Get in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just dangles it out.
With it.
Dangles it out in front of everybody. But see, we had that with Obama. He promised all that stuff, and when we get 8 countries bombed, been at war longer than anybody.
Big sore buttholes, what we got.
That's every politician. Every politician.
Hillary? Oh.
Well, we know what we're going to get with her. You can talk in cycles. It's all this big show. It's a big scam. Blah, blah, blah. We get it. I'll tell you what. I want to talk about a story that happened in Missouri.
Do it.
Really, really kind of irritates me watching it, but it's what happened was. Missouri officer sentenced to 4 years for tasing a teen into a coma. 17-year-old kid. It happened in 2014. 17-year-old kid gets pulled over by this cop, and kid didn't want to get out of the car. See, like, I can hear you through the window, so I can hear you just fine. And the cop started getting mad. He's like, I'm going to pull you out of the car. Anyways, ends up tasing him, okay? Kid never does anything to warrant getting tased. Tased him in the chest for like 28 seconds. Goes into cardiac arrest. Goes into a coma. So the cop actually he pleaded because he could have faced 10 years, but he's only going for 4 years. So at least there was some justice in the situation. I'll say that. I mean, at least the cop didn't, he's not at least still a cop. But,
Well, see, here's one of the clever little plot twists about this, because right off the bat, you're going to have some cop apologists are saying, well, now, wait a minute. That young man, he should immediately roll down that window and started talking to that police officer. No, the reason he didn't is because he was taught to do so by his father, who is also a police officer.
Boom. How about them apples?
His father, who is let me go ahead and repeat that so you understand exactly what I'm talking about. The young man's father, the 17-year-old boy's father that refused to roll the window down because he had done nothing wrong. He was exerting his rights.
You probably just answered the question as to why there was justice in this case. Because the kid's dad was also a cop. I'm just going to go out here on a limb and guess that he had more seniority. Because the guy, the Timothy Runnels guy, he was a younger cop anyway. His dad was a veteran of 19 years. So there you go. That's why the guy got in trouble. Plus, if you see the video, I mean, it makes you want to like go through there and like just punch the cop. He's so arrogant.
Well, I mean, it's no worse than any of the other videos that we've seen time and time and time and time and time and time.
But he went to jail. He went to jail in this situation,
and actually is serving 4 years, which is, you know, for what the guy did, and you look at sentencing is about on par. That's actually a just sentence.
But how often does that happen?
And what would have happened if that child had been tasered to death into complete cardiac arrest and they weren't able to resuscitate?
His dad being a 19-year-old veteran, they probably charged him with murder.
Yeah, his dad being a 19-year-old veteran. But that's the important part about this, though, is that a cop, a police officer, taught his son to exert his rights, not bow down and kowtow to the police officer, give him pertinent information, but you're able to stay within your rights. You know, these are your rights. This is what your rights are. And that's what the father rightly taught and justly taught his son.
Yeah, this cop, he was bad news anyway.
Yeah, he already had a history, from what I understand, reading the couple articles that I've read about it. Apparently, something about a hunting trip and some racial slurs, and and actually got a little bit of hot water over that.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like this cop was just a scumbag.
Just like every other cop that gets caught up in these type situations, 9 times out of 10, there's always some previous history of police brutality, domestic violence, sexual assaults, or some kind of charge that gets pled down to nothing, and then they go work for a small-time police station and then get kicked up to county or something.
That's because these instances go unchecked and it escalates until they do something really stupid and somebody gets killed or severely hurt. And for me, I would expect the police officers that aren't like that to be standing up and being like, we need to weed this out because it's making everybody look bad. But instead, it's this whole culture war. And again, more division. It's, you're with the blue line. This is what, blue lives matter. That's what it turns into. Everything's about you have to be this or you have to be that. Or you black lives matter or you blue lives matter.
No, we're just simply police officers.
We're all just getting
to
beat
do their
back
jobs,
black and blues. What's happening?
To do their jobs, and if a citizen is exerting their rights, then you have a job to do, and you need to. If you've got to gain some information or whatever, use your little police tricks, but work within the realm of the law. But see, the thing is, though, is that it happens so often. Is there a law that we don't know about? Is there something that's been said internally among police agencies and so on and so forth?
It's police.
We see this a lot with Border Patrol.
Police.
We see this a lot with Border Patrol. A lot of the same, cowboy attitude.
It's collective,
TSA agents.
It's just group mentality. That's what it is. You're for us or against us. So that's the world we live in. You're either for us or you're against us.
Well, let me tell you a story then. Today, I drive a minivan to work. I do plumbing work, and I work out of my little minivan. And my minivan, it's an older minivan, and the gas gauge is broke on it. And I actually ran out of gas on the interstate, very close to an off-ramp that had a gas station. So I got out of my vehicle, put the hazards on, got out of my vehicle and walked up the ramp, walked over to the store, I was short a gas can, so I had to buy like, some $15-16 gas can that's probably cost me $6 at Walmart, and bought a couple gallons of gas to put in it. As I'm walking out of the door, we live in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where the show's being broadcast from. 2 Birmingham police officers were standing at the door. One was a plainclothes officer with his badge visible and a gun, and the other was a fully uniformed Birmingham police officer. So I opened the door, and I actually, when you walk by somebody coming in and out of a building or in and out of a room, you kind of give them a little head nod, And I kind of nod to him and start heading toward the pump. Hey, we want to talk to you. So I turn around, and the plainclothes officer says, where did you just walk here from? So I explained my predicament and that I'd run out of gas. Here's my gas can. Well, you fit the description of somebody that was involved in a hit and run with a county vehicle just a moment ago. So next thing I look up, there's all these police cars all over the parking lot. And they, of course, pat me down and immediately, want to have a quick talk with me and find out what I'm doing and so on and so forth.
And this happened today?
This happened today. This happened around lunchtime. And I'm kind of in a hurry to get to another job. I have a plumbing inspection. Inspector comes and looks at it and all that other stuff, which is another racket that we'll talk about some other time. But anyways, so I explained, what I'm doing. I've not been involved in any hit and run accident. I've run out of gas. My it's right over on the off ramp, right over here off the interstate. You can look. It's kind of up over a hill and down a hill there. So they radioed in and radioed back, and they kind of, didn't really detain me or handcuff me or this, that, and the other. Just kind of, I had to sit on the hood and was surrounded by police officers, this plainclothes police officer. So they get done with me, come to find out the vehicle description was completely different. And I'm probably sure the physical description was different too. I just happened to be walking with a gas can, and this incident happened, and, valuable police experience would definitely point me out as the culprit that don't even have a vehicle around, and I'm carrying a gas can. So they all leave, but one police officer stayed, and I put gas in the gas can after going through this just completely just like whoa situation. And as I fill it up, he walks over and says, "Hey, I heard that you had broke down. Do you want to ride back over to your car? Because you had to kind of go across a really, really, really busy Highway 78. I mean, you know how busy that is. A lot of semis and things like that. It's a main connecting road that connects Birmingham to Memphis, and a lot of 18-wheeler traffic. And that's where 78 ends and spills out onto the main interstate there. So yeah, he waited for me to finish filling the gas up, put it in his trunk, drove me over to the car. We engaged in a little bit of small talk. I don't want anybody, again, this whole black and white, you have to be for us or against this thing, it's bullshit. This was a police officer that did, all he had to do was hop in his cruiser and go head to wherever he was going to head to. He stuck around for a second and gave me a ride to my car. And there was no discussion. They had already figured out it was somebody else. He wasn't trying to see if my story panned out or this, that, and the other. He just genuinely was like, no, man, I don't want to see you have to walk out. It was hot out today. It wasn't hot. It was in the 90s today. And hot, carrying 2 gallons of gas, about a mile, a half a mile. Yeah, that kind of would have sucked a little bit. And he stopped and gave me a lift over there. He didn't have to do that. And that's really, that sucks because, and I've said this time and time again, we tell these stories about these rogue, just crazy renegade cops that are doing all of this just crazy, insane stuff, murdering people left and right. Tamir Rice, choking a man out, Eric Garner for selling some loose cigarettes, all in the name of justice, and got away with it. So when we talk about stuff like this, it's very important for us to point out the fact that it's also obscuring those good cops, the ones that stuck around and gave a guy that didn't have to a ride back to his vehicle so he didn't get squished by an 18-wheeler.
That's everything. Everybody.
That's what police work's supposed to be about.
That's what it is.
Man, I wish I'd caught his badge number.
But that goes back to the dividing line. Remember, everything's black or everything's white. Everything has to be a certain way. They're either all bad or they're all good. Or, everybody wants to live in these definitives, and they build these walls around, like in construct these rules. They have to believe that they're all bad, they're all good, they're all this. Well, they're all this just because they serve. No. Sorry, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
I know during the whole Chris Kyle debacle, people were like, all the troops are heroes. All the troops are heroes.
No, they're not.
And so I said, fair enough. If all the troops are heroes, does that make Jeffrey Dahmer a hero? Mm-hmm. Does that make
David Berkowitz
a hero?
Mm-hmm.
It's a genuine question. If all the troops are heroes, is Son of Sam a hero?
Mm-hmm. I think, didn't John Wayne Gacy have a
Timothy McVeigh.
Right?
Timothy McVeigh. Is he a hero?
Yeah.
Like, that's a genuine question. Mm-hmm. Like, because it goes back to not everything's black and white in the world. There can be good, there can be bad. So to say all the troops are heroes, that's ridiculous. That's foolish to say that. That's not true. Some of the troops are heroes. Sorry, I don't want to go into the whole BoJack Horseman thing there, but I should find that and play it. I'm going to do that in the second hour. Remind me, Shannon. Second hour. I'm going to play a clip. We're going to comment on it so we don't get sued for playing it.
Okay. Hang on. Let me think. Okay.
Second hour. It's going to come. So, yeah. Second hour of Anti-Media Radio. We're going to talk more about the election as well. That's coming up in about 10 minutes or so. We'll get to the break.
So you think, which way you think California's going to swing for Clinton or Sanders?
Probably her, but it's him.
I mean, it doesn't,
in real life,
it doesn't matter at this time, but I mean, I just...
In the real world, it's him. But whether they give it to her.
They're not going to let him win one big one, are they?
Because that'll be embarrassing to her. So maybe not. I mean, you heard about Google being in cahoots with her.
No.
Yeah.
Not Google.
Right. So,
Is Google a branch of the government now?
Yes.
I mean, it really is.
It is. I'm pretty sure that it's just its own wing of the government. So, and they're helping Hillary. Hooray.
Yay.
We hadn't been hijacked, though, by corporate interest in any way, shape, or form. Everything's fine.
When are we going to get John McAfee back on?
We should.
That guy is so freaking incredible. You want to talk about an outsider to shake up the system? You put that guy in there for 6 months and watch what happens.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
Why not? That's my thought on that. Could be worse.
I mean, really, what? How much worse could it be? First
I like him. I respect him. So
the guy's he's got some great policies.
He said some stuff I don't like. I don't agree with everything about him.
No, of course not. But I mean, no, I do agree with everything about him. The man's incredible.
He's a good guy.
He's incredible. I love him. I love him to death. I don't know why the Libertarian Party didn't get behind him. Hell, they gave more credence to what's his name, old Peterson.
Yeah, the Beebs.
Yeah,
Leif Bieberson.
Yeah,
but Gary Johnson. Look, you talk about even the Libertarian Party now.
I don't want to talk about Gary Johnson anymore.
Even that they have like an establishment candidate. And I'm thinking, you think the neocons are going to get behind? Do you think the neocons will get behind him? I don't know. I could see it.
I don't know. Maybe.
They got to get behind somebody.
If you're going to do that, then you might as well put Peterson in there and have some fun with it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, if you're looking out for neocons, yeah. Because he's definitely started leaning back the other way with things. Austin actually used to be cool at one point in time. No, wait a minute. No, I was thinking of somebody else.
Speaking of somebody else, what do you think about... Yeah, this is completely off topic. The Ministry of Truth is coming to the United States of America. 1984 is here. I mean, it's really already been here, so that's really just for dramatic effect.
Yeah, 1984 was what? When did Van Halen put that album out? 83?
Yeah, something like that. We've been in there for a while. But so anyways, it's the Countering Foreign Propaganda and Disinformation Act of 2016.
What?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Okay, so basically what it is they're saying that it's a whole government approach without bureaucratic restrictions to counter foreign disinformation and manipulation that would threaten the world's security and stability. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, and they say that they're going to use this to help fight the propaganda of places like, I know.
I can't even keep a straight face anymore.
Of places like Russia.
It's
and Ukraine. And so anyway, they're all about just having this propaganda.
Got to shut it down.
Yeah, why not? So I like this part. It had something like 9 duties or something like that in the bill's text, but it said identifying current and emerging trends in foreign propaganda and disinformation, including this is what they're going to use as means to deliver their message. Print, broadcast, online, and social media. Support for third-party outlets such as think tanks, political parties, and non-governmental organizations. And the use of covert or clandestine special operators and agents to influence targeted populations and governments. That's a real thing.
I mean, I don't know why they got to like make an act and like, you know, kind of go all public with it. I mean, why not just keep it secret like they've been doing since forever?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that right there is why what warrants it a closer look.
Well, they're obviously trying to get more on paper because we already know this is already happening. It's not like they're going to go, hey, we're going to start spreading some propaganda. Well, did you get the bill passed? Because until you get that bill passed, we're not going to be able to do any of this, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen. So they're clearly been doing this for the whole time the country's been around.
We need to read and see exactly what's in the bill. Because there's something in that bill that I would almost bet pertains to either internet, mass media, some other way of shutting it all down until they can diffuse the problem, so on and so forth. I mean, we already know that they have the technology and the ability to do that, but, you know, they can't necessarily do that at this moment, at this particular juncture, without there being a huge deal about it. If this act passes, it seems like all they would have to say, well, man, we saw some stuff on the internet that China was trying to get past, and we don't need that misinformation going on. We're already seeing this now in other countries throughout the world, the attack that is being placed on free speech, on journalism, on getting the word out. And any dissenting word is being shut down and now being punished criminally. And we're talking about in other places other than, obviously, in your Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, for instance.
Where was it? That guy, was it Vietnam? There was a story a week or two ago, a former Miss USA contestant. I can't remember the country because I'm a moron. But a former Miss USA contestant got a suspended sentence. Was actually sentenced to jail, but they suspended the sentence or something for online.
Oh, yeah. Where was that?
Philippines or something. I don't remember.
I'm
terrible with stuff like that.
I'll look it up during the break.
So, so that, anyway, the point is that there is suppression all around the world right now, especially with the online stuff. And you have to remember that Google can control the algorithms and the rankings of what is even allowed, through Google. And most people, that's their filter because that's their automatic go-to. And I don't think, people's just like, oh, I'm getting on the internet. But majority of the time, most people search through Google.
Yeah.
And it's filtered to Google. So always, never just use Google. If you use Google, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, I've been using a different browser, and I've noticed now that the browser's results have been limited. Used to, I could sit and scroll through page after page after page, and it's also an encrypted browser too, so you can go and search for things and not get put on a list somewhere. And I'm not searching for anything salacious. It's the average search that most people make. It's just I really don't feel like it being added to a catalog somewhere. And you,
well, it's
the information's sold. And
that is what it is. You can't put everybody on all this. That's what I think they've pretty much done that. They have got over 300 million people on the list, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
pretty much everybody online right now.
Yeah, that's what Facebook is. Congratulations, you're in a database.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know it or not. Try deleting that page.
No, it ain't gonna happen. No.
So.
I've thought about suspending it though, just completely suspending it. But
yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could.
I would Jones so hard, and plus too, I'm going to be moving for too terribly long, and have a lot of family back here that I'll want to keep in touch with and stuff.
So anyway,
yeah,
that just kind of is the Facebook. It comes with the territory of spreading a message and trying to deliver information to people. It's kind of a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, make no mistake, it is, self-voluntary. Hey, here's some information about me. So I guess that's fine. Whatever they're doing.
They're doing something all right.
So who cares? Who cares? Live your life. Be happy. Be happy, Shannon. Be excited.
No.
To wake up every day and live life to the best of your ability.
That's all you can really do.
And don't live in the fear.
Yeah. I will be staying out of the polls this election cycle. If I do decide to go, it's still going to be a protest vote, but I'm sitting this one out.
I think a lot of people are.
Could anybody in good conscience vote for those two people? Hillary and Clinton,
I get
Trump.
Look, I get the appeal of Trump over Hillary. I just don't buy it personally. I get the appeal. I don't get it. Like, I don't buy into it. But I get what people see in him. I get the whole F you to the man. But that doesn't mean I trust him or believe what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So, will he be president? I totally believe so. Outside of,
I don't know. I still think they're going to give it to Hill, but
we'll
see.
What's Trump's got is whatever idiotic thing he's got coming up, which is probably not going to be idiotic. It's probably going to be hilarious.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty funny. Oh man, and I can't think of a better person for it to happen to too. Hillary has done. She's pissed off a lot of people. And look, I don't personally hate Hillary Clinton. I just hate everything she's done and stood for her whole entire life.
Just everything she represents. Yeah. And her face.
Yeah, and her face.
I tell you what. Let's talk about something completely different in the second hour. Join us in about a few minutes. Anti-Media Radio, UCY.TV.
to yell? Or am I just drowning in your hell? Somebody, please. Somebody, please. Somebody, please. Somebody. So there I sat, head in my hand, my own self-doubt was all I had. Should have bought more time to see things through. I lost my mind, didn't have a clue. I didn't have you. I didn't have you.
Back for hour 2 of Anti-Media Radio. I am S.M. Gibson, joined in the studio with our sound director, Shannon Madden.
Hello.
Usually joining the studio with Kevin, but Kevin is not here tonight.
Kevin is MIA.
MIA.
Yeah, last time we saw Kevin,
No, he was out. He went on vacation.
He went on a cruise.
Mm-hmm. So, either way, Hillary Clinton has now been coronated as the new queen of something.
Yay! The queen of resting bitch face. Yeah.
Bernie screwed.
Bernie got burned.
Yeah, Trump
felt the burn.
Trump is inviting him over.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Yeah, come on over to where?
Yeah,
come on and get up in this van.
Get in the
Chris
van.
Christie will tell you what's in that van.
Yeah, that look on his face said it all.
Yeah.
Chris Christie definitely got in the van, and that was the look that happens. Ugh.
Man.
That's it though. That's this election. We have two. They say Trump isn't corporate. He is corporate. Like he is a corporation in and of himself.
The establishment personified.
He is. I mean, he is the I guess what's the word I'm looking for? The poster child of, I won't want to say capitalism, but he's the poster child of glamour. Is that right? Even though he's not glamorous. I don't know the word.
Have you ever seen his hair? Come on, man.
No, he's not glamorous. He just thinks he is. Did you not see him looking like a James Bond character tonight? He had his daughter on one side of him and Melania on the other. Like he's just a super villain.
One of them out of bed. Woo.
Like he's a super villain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's like this whole glamour. That's it. It's the word for it. It's what he tries to portray. Now, yeah, he does have a ridiculous hairdo, and he's orange, and he just brags about himself all the time. But he wants to portray glamour. Doesn't mean he does.
Yeah, that's the whole Donald J. Trump brand, glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything's gold.
Yeah.
Because I'm Donald Trump with the bright red tie. That is a propaganda move. His ties. Every president's like that. That's what politicians do. But I think Trump has taken the mind games to a whole new level.
Well, it's good to see with Trump the exit of the Bill Clinton clenched fist with the thumb out just a little bit.
Yeah, that was the thing for 20 years.
God, everybody was doing that. You've seen Obama do it. I think even Bush did it a time or two.
Yeah, it became part of the arsenal.
Nobody could ever really master it like Bill could.
Nobody
Bill
could do
had it. I mean, he had it down to a T.
Yeah.
But Trump, he don't need it.
No, he doesn't.
No. It's disgusting.
He doesn't do that. He just goes, Rubio!
Little Rubio. Little Marco.
How do we live in a society where they're talking to Marco Rubio and he's just like, oh yeah, I don't condone that. I told you it was going to happen. I told you this was coming. It's so racist. It's so bad. So you're not going to support him? Oh no, I told you I was going to support him. So I guess I am. It's like, yeah. Paul Ryan. This is the definition of racist. I'm still supporting him.
I mean, I'll support him, but he's a racist. But I'll support him.
He's clearly a racist. I mean, I'm gonna vote for him, and that's what these politicians are saying right now. I can't support that
racist part of him, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and make him president and see what happens. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? People may disagree with this. I still think the man. I think it doesn't matter because he's spreading the message of racism, regardless. I don't think he's personally racist. I think he's an opportunist that doesn't care what horrible thing he says and where he steers people. And I think he is using race to divide people.
Isn't that what a racist does? He's a racist, man. Look, I'm not going to dance around it like everybody else has.
I'm not trying to dance around it. I'm not trying to dance around
it. I mean, he says racist stuff all the time, and he's playing all these racist games, but he's not a racist.
No, I know what you're saying. I understand that, and I don't mind calling him.
So you know what?
It doesn't hurt my feelings to say he's a racist at all. I'm not trying to defend him in any way, shape, or form. Calling him a racist doesn't make me go, "Oh no, he's not a racist." I don't think that, but at the same time, I think it really is politically motivated. Like, I don't think in his everyday life he treats people differently based on color.
He treats everybody like crap. So, come on. I mean, let's be real about it.
Right.
Behind the scenes.
And all he cares about is green. That's the only color that man cares about. I truly believe that. That's what I think. I think he cares about that one color, his green.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a greedy man that is all about his decadence and, the wondrous glamour of Trump Enterprises. And we're going to put that brand and stick it on the White House. Do you love the mind games that he plays? People don't see it. They think it's real. And it's calculated. Everything he's doing is calculated. It's a formula. And he's really good at it. He's really good at swaying a large group of people. How many times have I just rambled on for no reason about the fact that that man's in the WWE Hall of Fame?
He is.
And it's ridiculous is like, that's ridiculous, right? What does that entail? That entails going out into an arena full of 20,000 or more people and getting a crowd to cheer you.
Future Trump constituents. Go ahead.
And get a crowd to cheer you. And now what's he doing? The exact same thing. With almost the exact same shtick as he did in the WWE.
Mm-hmm. He's adopted a few other characters, personas along the way.
He has, but this is somebody that knows how to win over a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that they're the savior of the country or they're going to fix anything. They know how to win over a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's techniques used for political purposes. It's, like I say, he's really good at it. But people need to understand what it is. It should be very much stressed that it's a controlled, the chaos is controlled. It's controlled chaos. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I think he knows every move he's making. And I can't wait to see this Hillary thing or whatever they're doing. He's going to go down all of it.
So what's the news about her picking Elizabeth Warren?
I don't know if that's going to happen. That's foolish if she does that.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Elizabeth Warren has dogged her in the past.
I didn't think they were Facebook friends.
Yeah, they were and then they weren't, and it's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated.
But
that was a good one.
So I don't think that would be smart because I just see Trump playing those clips of Elizabeth Warren over and over
again.
Just saying what Hillary did.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be a good choice, but it's probably going to be hard to find somebody out there that hadn't said something bad about Hillary Clinton. So you may not have a choice. You just have to take it.
Why didn't she just go ahead and get Bill?
Well, he can't do it.
Why not? He can't run for vice president? For vice president?
He would become president. If something happened to her, he would become president. He can't be president again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how the rules with that worked on vice president.
Yeah, he couldn't do it.
That'd be awesome, man. They probably looked into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, if he could have, they would have. Well, they're trying to do it right now. I mean, that's all this is. Just an extension.
Yeah.
Except she gets her way more because I bet she didn't get her way entirely. Her first go round. But there was a lot she didn't get she wanted.
Yeah.
But this time, she's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be all about her.
You put your feet up on that sofa, and I swear to God, I'll rip your ear off.
Okay, can you explain to me how because she says this, so just see what I'm missing here. How her sex and her being a female makes her anti-establishment. Because she says that. She says, what's more anti-establishment than being a woman?
What's more anti-establishment than a vagina?
So, yeah, if somebody could explain that when the phone number is 718-717-8296. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Call in. Let's talk about Hillary's vagina for a moment.
No, that's not. Please, no. You're fired. There it goes.
Thank God, man. I've been trying for an hour to get fired.
Well, you just succeeded on that one.
Sweet.
Do you think Bernie's going to throw support behind her? Does it matter?
Well, I mean, no.
It don't matter, but
I think ultimately, because they have played very nice during the debates, and again, maybe he may try to play nice so that he can curry some sort of favor. I mean, he kept it pretty much above the belt during all of their debates. In fact, there were areas that he really could have dug into that he just simply did not. So I don't know if there was a quiet discussion in the background about that, or you go ahead and run your little campaign, and when you get done, throw all your weight behind me, and everybody can come feel the burn with Hillary.
Yeah, they're not going to do it, though. I don't think in mass they will. Some will, of course. But I don't think the large majority of his supporters are completely identified Democrats.
I just don't see any Bernie supporters jumping ship and heading over to the Trump camp. And
You don't think that? Wrong.
Look, there might be a few.
No, I disagree.
In clear protest, but I really don't. And it's really largely due to the fact of the little...
He's still... the way it's presented, okay, the way it plays out on TV...
There's so much stuff he said that you can't overlook.
Oh, I understand. But
if you're a knowledgeable person and not a blind Republican red state automaton. So, you know.
The way it's painted, though, you have to remember that he is. I mean, there's no way of painting this any different than it is. Like, he is still more anti-establishment than her. Everybody's more anti-establishment than her. She is the personification of what the establishment is. So a lot of people with Bernie are not going to fall in line with an establishment candidate, which she is.
I think they'll sit at home before they go vote for Trump.
I don't. I think they'd vote for him. Some people, I'm not saying all of them. I think that at all. There's a lot of Bernie people that never would, but I think it's going to be more than you think.
I don't know. We'll watch see if that happens.
But you still think Hillary's going to win?
There's just so many things that he said that you cannot unsay. You know, we're dealing with the whole thing about the
I understand
about the Indiana judge right now.
Here's the thing.
Federal judge.
Here's the thing. How can he say anything worse than stuff he said? Maybe he can. I mean, I think this was probably the worst thing he has said. But he said so many horrible things.
It's such the complete antithesis of the whole, you know, the Bernie feel the burn grassroots movement, and, you know, peace, love, and hair grease. You know,
but how do you pick? How do you pick? Like,
but I'm just trying to.
What's the bad thing he said? Like, they're all crazy. He's got some crazy stuff.
And that's what I'm saying is that there's no way that somebody who has half of a brain can overlook some of the things that he said.
They're doing it. Are you kidding me? They've been doing it since day one.
No, I'm talking about the Bernie supporters. The Bernie supporters that are not going to be feeling.
There are people right now that 6 months ago said, "I will never, ever, ever vote for Donald Trump," and today are Donald Trump supporters. People get caught up in the hysteria. They want to be a part of something.
True. And sometimes they just want to be a part of a winning team.
That's it.
Yeah.
And of those two, like, that's maybe the one person he can just straight up beat. But he can and will beat her because they're not ready for this. He's going to say everything. He's going to bring up Vince Foster. He's going to bring the Saudi money from the Clinton Foundation. He's going to harp on the Clinton Foundation. There's so much there. There's so much there on the Clintons, and he's going to say it all because that's his gimmick. I'm going to just say it. You know, he's reading the conspiracies off the internet. Mm-hmm. Look what he did with Ted Cruz. So who, you know.
He reads the conspiracies off the internet and sees the few articles about him and makes sure those admins get booted from their Facebook page for a while.
Get a 30-day ban. There's been a lot of those going around.
There's been a wave of those going on, and particularly with alternative journalism. Anything outside the mainstream is getting some major resistance on their Facebook lately. And I'm sorry, I have to point this out. I don't know why people don't make a bigger deal about it. But a lot of those people have plenty of loud things to say about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a shareholder in Facebook.
Yeah, but percentage of there's lots of shareholders of Facebook, to be fair.
To be fair, but at the same time, it would behoove a shareholder who just happens to be running for president of the United States to probably sit in, you know, or have an operative down there just looking over some things. Hey, we're over here at the Trump camp. We saw such and such, and well, we just need you to go ahead and boot that person off that page real quick, or just
I would like to look.
Don't even have to call them in. Just a few keystrokes, and bam, it's gone. You're booted. You're locked out in Facebook jail
Well, yeah, that's been going
because you
around.
put
there.
some dank Donald Trump memes all up on your face wall.
I'm looking for Donald Trump stocks in Facebook.
So I don't know what percentage he owns. I do know that there was a article that ran in mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s, 09, 10, somewhere in that neighborhood, where he announced that he had, and it may be even later than that he had decided to get into the Facebook game and had purchased a quantity of shares. It was purchased a quantity of shares so much so that it made news somewhere. I want to say it may have been a Wall Street Journal. It may have been some sort of financial news source. But you're free to Google that. Donald Trump Facebook shares, and there should be a story that pops up.
Here's what it is. Donald Trump, he actually didn't invest in stocks for quite some time, but he got in at Facebook when it was $19.37. Ooh. So it was about a year or so after the IPO came out. It would have been May 2012, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. I know this is probably boring talking about Donald Trump stocks, but there is a point to this as far as Facebook goes.
And why certain people are getting booted off of Facebook or getting pages removed or things of that nature, particularly political stuff.
We just went through the whole conservative news outlets getting suppressed too. I mean, I think that goes always around both sides of it. Have you noticed since that everything's conservative news now? It's like it flipped.
Yeah, or are you talking about for
the news feed on Facebook?
Well, see, the problem is I don't really look at the news feed too much. I just
notice what's on the side of mine.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, I do mine all from a phone, so I only get what's on my face wall. My face wall is usually whatever my friends post, and I do have friends that are both conservative and liberal, and some that are liberty minded. Some people that are clearly just apathetic of the whole situation and stay away from it altogether. People, I've got a pretty healthy mix of different folks on my face wall, and I get a lot of entertaining ideas and exchanges and so on and so forth. I encourage a lot of people to do that. Early on, noticed that I had a few right-wing friends just immediately disappear from my page, which I wasn't really too butthurt about that. But I don't, especially if even if it's a friend that you've known and had situations with and this, that, and the other. We're not all. I know some absolutely wonderful people that are just the biggest bleeding heart liberals. I can't stand to talk to them. And I've got some people that are just completely Fox News. Whatever Fox News says at the moment is the truth, and you need to watch Bill O'Reilly more often. He'll tell you what's really going on. I was even told by a family member that I didn't have the conservative leanings that he did because I don't have any children. Oh, well, you don't have a family, so you wouldn't understand this. What? Yeah. If I did have a family, I definitely would try to steer them away from that. And as far as the left wing, the left wing leanings, particularly when it comes to areas of, basically just enabling people to not work and just sit at home and collect a check all day.
I think it's important.
Able-bodied people.
I think it's important to do your best, and you can't do this with everything. I think it's important to do your best to avoid the division. And that's what that is. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. That's just more to divide us. Mm-hmm. Look, support who you're going to support for president. They can, if you want to support a Republican, knock yourself out. If you want to support a Democrat, knock yourself out. That doesn't mean you have to walk around identifying as I'm this thing. But that, human nature. People want labels. They want to be able to describe themselves in short.
And if somebody has a differing opinion, just instead of immediately refuting it, or you're an idiot, blah, blah, this and this, that, and the other, just stop for a minute, listen to what they have to say.
Sure.
Because, you get to know people, and then suddenly you find out why they're political leanings, while their religious leanings, while they kind of are their sexual orientation. I mean, you get to know people and you can really find out some very fascinating things about it if you just shut your damn mouth for a minute.
So, just Trump bought it at $19.37.
What's Facebook at right now?
$117.
Daddy did good on that one.
Yeah, he's got at least.
He's a winner. He wins everywhere.
Yeah, he won on that. He's got at least $4 million in it.
Yeah.
So
well, was that a $4 million initial investment?
That's what I was trying to.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was trying to figure out, or if that's current. I'm going to keep looking here because I'm interested to know if it's initial.
Wow.
If it's initial, that's a lot of.
That's
a lot of money earned.
I mean, that's like a lot of money earned.
It's not very mathematic of you.
Yeah, that'd be like what, almost $500 million?
Would it be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it was a $4 million initial investment, I don't know.
I'm not even trying to do it. I'm just
it's there, man.
Continuing to look for this information here.
Well, it's like up in the threes, in the high threes, low four, something like that.
Let's see.
I don't know. I don't feel like using it.
Yeah, either way, the point is,
Daddy's got it. Daddy's got it.
I don't know if that's enough, though. I mean, there's people with a lot of money in Facebook. I don't think that little of an investment would warrant him shutting down half of Facebook.
But it also grants him special access to Facebook and its higher ups that you and I would never have, and that's before you add the equation that he's running for president of the United States. Excuse me, he is the front runner.
Any politician can do
for
that.
President of the
Any
United
politician,
States. But he's not a politician. So that's what I'm saying. That's his end. That's been his end.
Oh, of course he can.
So
get
all he
in
has
the
to
end.
do is send an email to so and so sends an email to so and so. Next thing you know, there's somebody's page is getting booted, somebody's meme is getting removed, and it has been happening in mass.
The only,
it's no happy accident.
The only reason that I think there could be something to it is because I believe that if Donald Trump clicks notify about something, delete this image, which I can see him like having his cell phone out, going through Facebook.
I mean, he does.
I know.
He does.
He's the only candidate I can actually see doing that. I think he does it.
Checks that he's trending on Facebook and sees what's going on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's he saying about
looking about himself?
That's disgusting. Yeah,
because I think he's constantly watching the news about himself. I don't know how, and this is probably part of the reason he doesn't have any policy per se, because he spends all his time watching the news about himself.
Well, look, to be fair, we're implying that Trump may be behind all of those.
It's not all behind, but
at the same time, we know it's not Hillary because she can't even save her own damn emails. Come on now.
Well,
yeah, I took it there.
I mentioned in the first hour of the show.
Is she going to jail?
I don't know. I don't know if she is or
not. She's not going to jail. No way.
But how her and Google were together, so. They've been helping out with the Hillary campaign. So, it could be nothing more than he goes, I want this taken down. And that's it. I don't think that it's probably this huge grand conspiracy where he sat down with Mark Zuckerberg.
No. I'm just saying that, an email went to an email, went to an email, went to an email. Then next thing you know, somebody's getting booted for 30 days. And a lot of people are pointing fingers at, well, maybe I have a friend, or maybe, some cases it might be, somebody on the very edge of your friends list who's,
and I'll say this,
a federal agent.
I'll say this for it, whether or not it's anything related to Donald Trump, it's 1,000% somebody's doing it because it is happening.
Yes,
there's a lot of people getting banned. I mean, right and left. I don't know one person right now that hasn't been banned in the past 3 months.
Anybody who's listening, go onto your Facebook. Go into one of your friends' posts that they have up there. And I want you to comment this one sentence, all right?
Free Thought's been banned. I'm trying to think of everybody. Fifth Column's been banned. Like the people that started it.
This cannot be fake. Type in the sentence, this cannot be fake.
Oh yeah, what was this? I did.
If you
this.
type this in,
Where am I typing this into again?
You go to a friend's thread. All right, friend's got a post up, and you go in and make a comment and put in the comment section.
I'm gonna do it.
What is that? God, I can't remember. It's.
I did this. Okay, what is it? Tell me what to type one more time. This is so riveting.
What? This cannot be fake or something like that. Hang on, I've got it because I actually had a thread that I actually posted in, and I was like, "What? That can't be real." And sure enough, it really was real.
Yeah.
Because then when you post, let me see if I can find it again. God, this is so weird.
This is such a riveting. This cannot.
Yeah,
be
here it
fake.
is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Is that what it is?
This cannot be fake.
All right.
Just type in the sentence. This cannot be fake. Period. No quotation marks. No other punctuation.
I just did it.
This
Nothing happened.
cannot be fake. In somebody's, you got to go to somebody's post or something.
All right.
And go to comment and put this cannot be fake, and it'll.
It's not doing anything. Does it have to be like all caps or something? It's just posting it.
That's weird. Because I typed it into one today, and it may be from a mobile device. I wonder.
What? Okay,
I didn't think about that.
Explain here.
The trick is that if you type this in on somebody's comment, you'll get a thing will pop up and it says "failed to like post." This action attempted has been deemed abusive or is otherwise disallowed. To keep from getting blocked again, please make sure you've read and understand Facebook's community standards. More info, okay. It may do it on mobile devices, may only do it on Android devices. I don't know, but it's this weird little thing that is, I think it's an illustration of the fact that Facebook.
It's letting me do it.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I mean, it's letting me do it. But yeah, I did see it before. I did try this before, but it's not. It's letting me do it now. So I don't know if it's something.
Oh, so they must have gone in and changed it.
Yeah.
I just typed it in and it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
That's so weird. And I got that message earlier today, so Facebook's probably caught on to it.
They have. No,
So many people are doing it because I saw it was like two different threads that I saw it in.
Yeah, I've seen it. But I wonder what the point was.
I think the point is the fact that Facebook is working on a way to automatically, if you go to type something into somebody's post, that it'll automatically detect if it's abusive or if it's something that maybe has a keyword, like use like a horrible word against a girl or something like that, then it'll automatically send it over to that and it'll fail to post it.
Yeah, they could do.
So in other words,
they could be doing that now, though.
Yeah, I think they are. Well, now we already know.
not like you're saying. I don't think there's trigger words that automatically get you banned right then and there.
That may have been a little test.
That's what I think it was. I think it was.
And they saw that it worked. So this cannot be fake.
Who knows?
That's what it comes down to.
Who knows what it is? It could be nothing. It could be absolutely nothing. You should get on that, though, Shannon. Do the research.
This cannot be fake.
Look it up. It cannot be.
This cannot be fake. The movie. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It's all fake, though.
It really is.
That's the fun thing. I guess that's why the phrase was used. This cannot be fake, because when does anybody ever type that phrase?
Yeah.
When would anybody type this cannot be fake?
And how could this cannot be fake be any kind of abusive language?
Right.
Interesting.
Oh, that
I think
that
I think we typed it in.
The insinuation there, though, is obviously if.
But we typed it in and we saw it happen. You know what we did? We unwittingly played into their evil scheme. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
How?
We just did a social experiment for Facebook and didn't even get paid for it.
That's true. That's true.
That's effed up, man. That ain't cool.
That is true. We were. Maybe we
Hey,
were.
Zuckerberg, I want my money.
Well,
If I go down there to Southern Research right now and get injected with some kind of like some kind of possum virus or something like that and start growing hair out of my ears, I can sue them, or I'll at least get paid or compensated for
We
it.
probably have to sign
Zuckerberg,
papers.
I want my money.
I'm sure you have to sign papers before all that. And you know what? I know for a fact that there's all those stipulations on Facebook. So, yeah, you've already signed your life away to them, too.
This cannot be fake.
Oh, it is. Don't worry. Have you gone through, this is important for everyone listening, to go through your settings and look at all the stuff that they can do to you?
Actually, go
And
back
make
and
sure
read that.
everything's on no, where I don't think it probably matters. I think if they want to do it, they can do it. I don't think you get a little switch is going to change anything. But, you know, makes you feel good. Click that switch and says, no, that you can't do this. So, I don't know if you've done that yet, Shannon, but you should do it. That's a public service announcement.
I think I'm going to get the old computer out I got in the basement that's running like Windows 98, like the last edition that they had, like 98.4
Oh, I don't know.
or something like
idea.
that. Yeah.
Windows 95.
Take the camera off, take the microphone off,
Yeah, but I'm not.
plug back
I
into the
don't.
wall and get some dial-up going.
That's the thing, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I just don't want to be spied on. But I'm not. I can see somebody doing that, and they just immediately would be like, they're up to something. They're up to something because they don't want to be spied on.
Yeah.
That's sad. I mean, that's 1984.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want a telescreen? We're coming to get you.
Well, now you can get a telescreen with a zero down,
Yeah, they're cool.
a 12-month contract.
Yeah, they never told you in 1984 that YouTube would be on the telescreen and you could look up anything you wanted at any time. And that's how they get you.
Yep.
And your whole life is on there. All your friends, and you're talking back and forth.
Making plans.
Yeah, I hate it. Oh, I hate
Clicking on the Amazon, getting you
it.
some getting you some books and CDs and DVDs.
That's it. And look, I'm on it. I have to be on it.
On the Facebook, looking up dank memes.
Yeah. I'm a part of that machine. I'm a cog in the wheel.
You are.
We all are in our own way. But it's taken over everything. We live our lives inside of wires.
Yeah.
But, you know, get outside. Get some fresh air. I'm not saying don't get on the internet completely. Anyway.
You couldn't live without the internet for a day.
Oh, I could.
You go nuts.
I could.
I don't know. I think we need to do this. We need to try this. Of course, Nick's looking up. No, he's not.
Right, see?
Or he's laughing hysterically. Yeah, like that'll ever happen.
So, whatever. Don't live your life on the internet. As we broadcast through the internet. Duh, duh, duh.
Broadcasting live from the internet.
You know, that's it. Just be happy. Don't get involved in the fear. Don't get involved in the lies. Don't get so worked up about idiots online or some crazy thing you hear on the news because they're coming for you. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. That's what they want you to think. You know, was it Bill Hicks? They want you to put beer locks on your doors and fear, choice, fear, and love. I mean, that rings true. That's a decision. Fear and love. How are you going to live your life? And how are you going to make decisions on a daily basis? Are you going to make those decisions based on fear? Or are you going to make those decisions based on love? Because if it is fear, then you're going to be fine with going and blowing people up for no reason. Because everything's about protect, whatever you have to do. I'm so scared. And when you're scared, your rational thought goes out the window. And you'll let people do crazy stuff because it's to keep you safe. That's all the politicians are there for. They're just there to keep you safe. That's what they want us to think. They're there to make your lives better. They serve you. Politicians are there to serve us. Oh, wow. That's great. Just service. Thanks. We're getting serviced all right. These people get in these positions and the God complex, power hungry, give. What can I get out of this? What can I do for my own glory? Because that's what people with huge, giant egos do.
Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton.
You better believe it. I mean, any politician. What politician doesn't have a massive ego? That's the nature of the job. It's like going to become a frontman of a band.
Oh, let's see here. Well, Ted Cruz didn't. Oh, well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, what did he say in his little video when he said he wanted to be a porn star? That he was going to rule the world or something one day?
Oh, man. Wonder what he's doing now.
Who cares?
He actually showed in the polls in New Jersey.
I will say this. I certainly enjoyed watching Trump throttle that guy.
Yeah, it kind of and doing the 1-2 punch with Little Rubio too.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, he
too.
just knocked them both about the head.
That was funny too, but I really enjoyed seeing Ted Cruz get it. Watching Ted Cruz explode that last day he was in the race was mighty funny.
Yeah, that was good. He just finally completely lost it.
Mm-hmm. It was all that frustration built up.
But when Hillary does it, oh man!
Oh, it's going to be great when Hillary does it. It's going. I
times
so hope
more
it happens.
spectacular.
Oh, sure, certainly. And they could do it in each other's faces.
I mean, do you think though, with the fact that TV cameras are on her and a microphone's in front of her,
he knows he can get her to snap.
She is so conditioned though to always be on. So, do you think he'll really be able to get her to bend, or should just? Get
I
up there
think
and just
this
kinda
guy
make that...
is so calculated. This is like one of the reasons that I'm so fearful of a Trump presidency, because I think he's so calculated and he's using such psychology, and he's so precise with just the repetition of everything that he does. I think he's going to go like figure something out, talk to a therapist, and he's going to go for trigger words to get her to snap.
Yeah.
Now, whether she does or not, I don't know, but I can see him doing that. Why wouldn't you? You're a politician, and your goal is to get her to go crazy. Because if she loses it, that's it for her. She's kept it together for a long time. Once that mask comes off, we're never going to unsee what we see.
Now,
she kind of did it with Benghazi a little bit.
how quickly will we see Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton turning this presidential election, instead of it being about Republicans and Democrats, the haves or the have-nots, but man versus woman?
That's not this race. That's
Hillary's
not this race.
Hillary's already hinted about that.
It's the stupidest thing she can do, because that's not going to work for her.
No, it's certainly not.
Any other woman on the planet, yeah, I could see that becoming the race, but not her. She doesn't fall into that category. No, she doesn't have. I think on some level, I think a woman could. There's going to be a level of sympathy, like how dare you, to a woman. Like, what kind of jerk are you? Nobody is going to think twice when he talks down to her because of who she is.
Yeah.
They know, everybody knows what she's like. So when he talks down to her, it's not going to be like, how dare he say this? It's Hillary Clinton. He's going to get away with it. So I don't think, if she goes the man-woman route, that's stupid. That's not going to do her any favors. It's just going to make her look like she's pandering. And it's going to make her look really desperate.
Hot sauce.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you're right. I mean, she's capable. Don't get it wrong.
Yes, she is.
Jeez.
She's a pandering. Is it working? Is it working?
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I don't know how she's gotten as far as she has.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Yeah, you
I do not.
Yeah, you
She's
do.
not. I don't. I know how he got there.
Garth Brooks sang it best.
Oh, there's the trail bodies, though, too. You got to remember that. Don't think there's not. You don't get there.
All horrible, tragic suicides, everyone.
Everyone. I mean, House of Cards, that's just some silly TV show. These people are really nice. These are some nice people we elect. That's everybody's thing, though, isn't it?
I mean,
everybody else's congressman's an idiot.
An evil person to come from Arkansas.
Yeah, yes. Well, she's not from Arkansas. She's from like Illinois, I think.
You ever see Deliverance?
I did.
Bill saw Deliverance.
Yeah, I guess he's from Hope, Arkansas.
Yeah.
So
yes, he is. Squeal.
Yeah. Whatever. I think they're gonna get what they're gonna get, and at some point it always comes back around. You know, it really.
Sometimes
it doesn't really when you look at these politicians. But this is different, man. 20 years, 20 long years of just complete. He came out of the gates, Jennifer Flowers. Scandal day one.
Yeah.
He hadn't even taken office yet, and he's already in a scandal.
Yeah. And she's just a opportunistic hussy just trying to make a buck.
That's it.
That's all
she was. That's all she was.
She's getting naked.
That's all any
she's getting
of them
naked
were.
in them little nudie magazines.
Yeah, it's always the woman. It was always the woman.
Just trying to make a dollar.
It's never Bill. I can't believe they would say this about this man. If it was just some, woman trying to be like, going after Kobe Bryant about it, then how come every president doesn't have women coming out of the woodwork going, guess what happened?
Yeah.
Why was it always just him?
Reagan's mistresses. Yeah.
You heard about the Kennedys.
Well, that is the Kennedys.
But
Clinton was always cut from that.
I know they probably all did. I know Johnson did, but you don't hear about them being like these womanizers. But not Bill.
No, Bill's worse. I mean, womanizer is the best thing that you could call.
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean rapist.
Yeah,
you can say that.
Yeah, with confidence.
Mm-hmm. I can't say enough. I personally 1,000% believe Juanita Broderick's story. That's me. I know not everybody does, but I don't. I've spoken with her. My personal view is she's telling the truth. Which would make him a rapist.
The same story that she told back in the 90s, the late 90s. Same story that she told throughout the 2000s, particularly on Hannity. She's been on Hannity's show a lot, and we can't give him credit for anything else but that.
Like, you're going a long ways when you say, okay, I am believing this story. You just said the President of the United States is a rapist.
Yeah. And also, by the way, she has not received a single penny from Hannity, from us, from any other media outlet. She just simply wanted to tell her story and make sure it got out there so, other people could be aware.
Well, we had
women could
Hannity, that's the one thing is as much as I can't stand that guy, I think it's good that he has them on. But when he had her on, it was about 5 minutes or less. But, we were able to speak with her for over 30 minutes. So
it was a wonderful conversation. We found out a lot of stuff that I'd never heard before, which, is, again, this goes back to what I was talking about. Just talk to people and listen to what they have to say. And you'd be very surprised and very shocked because the truth will always present itself, always, because the truth never changes.
That's it. Not the Clintons, though. That never changes. They're attacking us. Mm-hmm. That never changes. It's a right-wing conspiracy. How dare they?
And then, of course, when they left the noble, most important house in America, pretty much a living museum, when they left the White House, they left it in its shambles. And that was very well documented when they went to remove their stuff and a lot of stuff that they weren't supposed to remove shortly before George Bush took the office over.
Okay, is there somebody, I'm sure there is, that believes that from Whitewater to the women to murders to rape to whatever. Epstein, there's just a ton on the Clintons. Who believes that every single bit of it? It's all just this huge conspiracy against the Clintons because they're so perfect.
A Republican-led
Right.
conspiracy. Yeah.
Like every single story is just a witch hunt. Not one of them could possibly be true.
No, it's all a bunch of crap, and it's just
Who
some stories
believes
that
that?
people made up, and you shouldn't be talking about such gossip anyways. That's disgusting.
Who believes that?
Yeah.
That it's all just this huge grand. They just hate the Clintons. Oh,
Well,
they're
Hillary-
such nice people.
Hillary would have you believe, and of course the
She's never lied.
Wait,
remember that thing she said? I've never lied. I don't know what you're talking about.
the Democrats would have you believe that that's a very large number of people that have looked past that and are voting for them, voting for her right now.
I still don't buy it. I don't buy seeing thousands and thousands of people at these Bernie Sanders rallies. They're huge, huge for anybody, much less a political candidate.
Yeah.
Nobody's going out to see her. Nobody cares. Nobody cares
But they're
about
showing,
her.
But they're showing up to the polls.
Nobody likes her.
Yeah.
Man, well, Kentucky, that was a bit.
They're showing up to the polls. You've seen
Nevada.
You saw those numbers. Those are real numbers.
Iowa. Was
They
that?
were on TV.
That was coin flip state, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Iowa,
Mhm.
6 coin flips. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, right. I mean, it really is. It's bad rigged. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And look, people know it. They don't want to admit it to themselves, and I think everybody's finally kind of doing it with Trump. And they're saying, okay, maybe it is rigged. That's the thing with Trump. He's diagnosed the problems correctly, but I don't think he has any of the solutions. I think Bernie's diagnosed the problems pretty good, too. I can say that for Bernie and Trump. I think they both diagnosed the problem to a degree, but they haven't offered any real solutions that I've seen that's going to do anything drastically different, if not worse, than the current situation we're in. And more than likely, it will be worse. You know, Trump is the wild card. You really don't know. It could go really good. It could go really bad. I don't really see it going really good, but maybe. I mean, anything's possible. I'll say that, but I don't personally see that happening. I think it'll be, in the gray area. I don't think it's going to just be concentration camps everywhere, but who knows? It could be. He definitely wants to suppress. He wants the libel laws changed. Oh, can't say nothing about me. I'll sue you. Like, we're talking third world dictator stuff when you start doing that.
There is no candy on that.
Oh, of
thing.
course there's no candy in
No
that vein. We're
candy.
talking about something, comparing him to a third world dictator because changing the libel laws because of something you can't talk about. Oh my gosh, it's like ruining. Okay, I'm going to pull it together here because what it is it's him saying free speech. Who needs that? Who needs that? That's the first one. Everybody talks about the Second Amendment. Well, there's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an assault on.
Because then you take away that one, you can take away all the other amendments, and very few people know about it until long after they're gone.
Well, they've already shredded most of them anyway. So.
Yeah. We have all of this loud talk that has told us about 28 redacted pages. Loud talk that has let us know that our government has done some horrible, horrible, atrocious things, not only overseas to other countries,
That was all by accident.
but to their
that's what
own
they say.
citizens.
Sure.
Daily. And again, people get reduced instead of the actual physical people, they get reduced to a number or a statistic on a piece of paper, an acceptable loss. They get shuffled off into accounting terms.
It is. It becomes numbers, and it's, there's no human aspect to it.
And the only number that really matters at the end of the day is the one that has a dollar sign in front of it.
Unfortunately, I think that's how this country's been running for a long time. And where are you going to find it? Probably not like that. I don't think there is this perfect place. With that being said, we're bombing a lot of countries and intervening in a lot of places.
Hillary said something like that in a speech for Goldman Sachs. Let me shuffle through these papers here. I got it here somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. That ain't real. That's the only number that really matters is the one with the dollar sign in front of it. That's it.
Of course.
That is it. And, and the thing is, again, no candy in that van. Donald Trump's already got money. Ain't nobody going to buy him.
You know that he said a few years ago that, I think I want to say 2011. Anyway, he said he would put $600 million into a presidential race if he ever ran. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong on the year he said it, but it's been in the past recent years.
Yeah, because I think
$600 million he said he would spend, which I guarantee you has not even come close to even kind of doing it. Plus, he got those loans. Oh, no. Which that's because he don't spend his own money. That's what that's about.
And think about all of the money, the millions of dollars he saved in advertising just popping up on every single news outlet that would have him because he's so hot right now. He gets so much.
Did you hear about the ratings going? Like the money and stuff? They're making more money now because the ratings have all gone up.
Yeah.
Because it's a reality show.
Happy day.
It's a reality show on the news. It's the Donald Trump circus. And it's going to get crazier. Once they start in on each other, him and her, it's going to be unbelievable. What's she going to say about him? Because at some point, the gloves are going to
What's she going to say about him that he hasn't already said about himself? I mean, you got to give the guy credit for that at least. He is honest to a fault.
Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Oh, what you're saying is he owns up to his own sins and says this is who I am. I don't believe that either.
Now he does gloss it over every once in a while with that's disgusting. I can't believe you asked me that. And
sure,
salsa, but he has actually gone head on with some pretty hard questions about his financials, his love life, so on and so forth.
Where's his tax return?
What you don't need no tax. They're still working on it, man.
So
there's no candy on that van.
No, there's not.
No, there's not.
Not even.
There's no Snicker bars in that bag. There's some duct tape and some zip ties and pain. Lots and lots of pain.
But that's any politician. Man, Gary Johnson's an idiot too. It's sad. I guess he genuinely is the lesser of evils.
The Libertarian Party really they missed the boat with McAfee. I think
I do too.
McAfee would have done them proud.
I do too. I think the name recognition alone would have been good for him.
The guy's got balls and he's an excellent.
Well, they could have never had him. He was too renegade for him. He was just passing through.
Well, yeah, true.
But yeah, he's too big for any of that. Well, I tell you what, join us on Thursday. We'll be back for Anti Media Radio. I am SM Gibson. For Shannon, Nick will be here tomorrow night, 11 p.m., UCY.TV.
There's no candy on that van.
Anti Media Radio out.
I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo.